Pokemon X and Y are actually decent Pokemon games, but unfortunately they get a lot of stick. And if you were to pose the question, what are the worst mainline Pokemon games to anyone involved in any Pokemon gaming community, there is a high probability that they are going to say Pokemon X and Y, if not Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now don't get me wrong, they have got potential, but they also have a lot of problems. And in this video I discussed the 5 biggest problems with Pokemon X and Y. Let's jump straight into it. Number 1, the game was too easy. Now Pokemon X and Y did introduce the XP share mechanic, but at least you could turn it off. Even if you did turn off the XP share, the game was still too easy. You are given a free Lucario that can Mega Evolve and also a free Kanto region starter. You don't have to use them obviously, but just the fact that the game offers these Pokemon to you or gives these Pokemon to you definitely makes it a lot easier. Also, there are many gym leaders who have weak teams and a lot of the Pokemon only know 3 moves, which is just ridiculous. Not only that, but to say that they are the region to introduce Mega Evolution, there are only 2 trainers in the entire game who use Mega Evolution against you, Lysander and the champion, which is just ridiculous. I mean, if you look at, for example, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with terrestrialization, every single gym leader uses terrestrialization against you. So I just find it ridiculous that only Lysander and the champion use Mega Evolution against you. In conclusion, when you combine all these points together, yeah, the Pokemon X and Y are just too easy. Number 2, the Kalos region Pokedex. Now, the Kalos region Pokedex only introduced 72 Pokemon. Given the fact that they introduced the fairy mechanic as well, I think this is pretty ridiculous. 72 Pokemon is just way too small. It's the smallest Pokedex of the 9th generation. Now, if the Pokedex was to be amazing, that would be one thing. But honestly, a lot of the Pokemon in the Kalos region Pokedex are just forgettable, including their pseudo legendary. Really sorry about that, but yeah, I just think it's forgettable. Now, don't get me wrong, there were a few iconic Pokemon introduced, such as Greninja and the Mega Charizards, Tyrantum, but in truth, a lot of the Pokemon in the Kalos region Pokedex were forgettable. Number 3, lack of legendaries in the Pokedex. Now in Pokemon Red and Blue you have the legendary birds. In Gold and Silver you have the legendary beasts. In Ruby and Sapphire you have the Reggie trio. In Pokemon Diamond and Pearl you have the Lake trio. In Black and White you have the Swords of Justice and the Forces of Nature. In Pokemon Sun and Moon you have the Island Guardians. Even in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet you have the Treasures of Ruin. But in Pokemon X and Y there are no legendary trios in the Pokedex. There are no legendary quartets in the Pokedex. Wow. Number 4, a lack of legendaries in the game. Now in Pokemon X and Y you can catch one of the box art legendary Pokemon in addition to Zygarde. Now from this you can also get a Mewtwo as well at the end of the game that can Mega Evolve, and the legendary birds from Kanto. The truth is Mewtwo is available in every single generation up to generation 6, other than Black and White and Black and White 2. So you've probably already got yourself a Mewtwo that you can transfer into the game, because remember we had Pokemon Bank then. So it isn't something to get fans excited. Also, the legendary birds are cool, but they are available in generation 1, generation 3 and also generation 4. So again, having them available in the game isn't something that's going to make the fans go wow. The lack of cool legendaries in the Pokedex and the lack of cool legendaries in the game definitely puts a dampener on Pokemon X and Y. Lastly, number 5, a lack of post-game content. A Pokemon game's post-game content is literally make or break, and for Pokemon X and Y, unfortunately, it's break. The Look at episode is okay, don't get me wrong, and you can take part in the Battle Maison, but after that there really isn't much to do. The Pokedex is really small, so it's not going to be an issue for you to complete the main Pokedex. The game is also very easy, so you're probably not really going to be motivated to restart the game and play with a different team, because honestly you're just probably going to walk over it regardless of whatever Pokemon you have on your team. So because of these reasons, after you complete the game, the Look at episode, you're probably going to put the game down and move on to another game. The fact that it's so easy to put down Pokemon X and Y and look at playing another game is definitely one of the bigger problems that it faces. Now don't get me wrong, other than these 5 points, I think there are other issues. For example, Pokemon X and Y came after Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, which were absolutely fantastic games. Let's not forget that Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which were also fantastic games, came after X and Y. So they jammed between 2 sets of really cool games, and I think Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire did Mega Evolution a lot better than Pokemon X and Y. Now that's it. Those are the 5 things that I believe are the biggest problems that Pokemon X and Y face now that they have been sort of reintroduced into the conversation ever since Pokemon Day 2024. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think Pokemon X and Y are good games? Do you think they're bad games? Do you think they're okay? They could be better. A lot of untapped potential. Regardless of whatever you think, just let me know in the comment section down below. Right, people, that's pretty much it that's pretty much it from me. Sorry, that's all I wanted to discuss. If you have enjoyed the video, please do drop a like. If you are new to the channel and you enjoy Pokemon gaming discussions, then definitely do subscribe for more of the same content. I want to thank you all for watching, and hopefully I shall see you all next time.